Good day. We have already discussed research foundations, the review of related literature, research philosophies, ethics, methodology, and data collection. Today we use Saunders' Research Onion to bring these decisions together. The Onion is a layered framework associated with Mark Saunders, Philip Lewis, and Adrian Thornhill. We move from broad assumptions about knowledge toward specific techniques for data collecting and analyzing the data. The model is especially useful when writing or defending a methodology because it makes alignment visible. However, it is not a recipe that produces one automatic answer. Researchers still need judgment, contextual knowledge, and ethical reasoning and evidence from the literature. During this short lecture, we will peel the onion layer by layer and apply it to the Philippine research problems. The onion is subsequent to our earlier topics because it organizes them into a chain. The introduction and literature review establish the problem, gap, the concepts, and objectives. Philosophy clarifies assumptions about reality and knowledge. Ethics shapes what is acceptable. Methodology explains the overall logic, while data collection turns that logic into practice. The research onion helps us check whether these decisions fit. It should ideally be used before data collection, not invented afterward to justify whatever method was convenient. After fieldwork, it can also function as an audit tool. Did the implemented sampling and instruments still fit the intended design? Did typhoons, school closures, low responses rates, or access restrictions require changes? If changes occurred, the researcher should report them transparently. The central value of the onion is coherence rather than decoration. The contemporary research onion is commonly presented in six layers. First, research philosophy. Second is the approach to theory development. Third is the methodological choice. Fourth is the research strategy or strategies. Fifth is the time horizon. At the center are the techniques and procedures for sampling, data collection, and analysis. The sequence matters because outer decisions constrain inner ones, but the process can also be reflexive. A researcher may discover that an intended instrument does not represent the concept well and return to earlier layers. Avoid treating every label as mutually exclusive in all circumstances. Real projects may combine compatible positions or strategies, but combinations must be justified. The onion is best treated as a conversation among decisions. If this is the question and this is what we believe counts as evidence, then this design and these procedures follow. The outer layer concerns philosophy. Positivism commonly emphasizes observable, measurement, regularities, and hypothesis testing. Critical realism accepts that a reality exists while recognizing that our observations are imperfect and that underlying mechanisms may not be directly visible. Interpretivism emphasizes how people construct and understand meaning in context. Pragmatism focuses on the practical problem and may draw on different forms of evidence when useful. These are simplified decisions and also descriptions, not rigid stereotypes. In a Philippine local government study, measuring average waiting time and testing predictors of delay may lean toward positivist or post positivist reasoning. Understanding how senior citizens experience dignity, favoritism, or confusion while accessing services may require interpretive attention. A pragmatic evaluation might combine administrative records, surveys, and interviews to recommend service improvements. State the assumptions that actually guide the study rather than selecting a philosophy because it sounds sophisticated. The second layer asks how theory relates to the study. Deduction begins with theory, develops propositions or hypotheses, and tests them using data. For example, technology acceptance theory may predict that perceived usefulness is associated with continued use of a learning platform among public school teachers. Induction begins more openly with observations or participant accounts and develops patterns or concepts from them. Interviews with teachers might reveal that platform use is shaped by family messaging practices, shared devices, and administrative reporting requirements not captured by the original theory. Abduction moves between theory and data to find the most plausible explanation for a surprising observation. If teachers report high usefulness but low continued use, the researcher may investigate connectivity, workload, or policy changes. These approaches can appear with one project, but the dominant logic should be explained. The third layer is methodological choice. A monomethod study uses one broad methodological tradition, such as quantitative survey or a qualitative case study. Multi method research uses more than one technique within the same broad tradition, such as questionnaire plus analysis of numeric administrative records, or interviews plus observations and documents in a qualitative case. Mixed methods combines quantitative and qualitative strands and integrates them. Integration may happen through sampling, instrument development, follow up questions, joint displays, or the final inference. A Philippine study of disaster preparedness might use a survey to estimate household readiness and interviews to explain why knowledgeable families still avoid evacuation. The justification is the need for both scale and explanation, not a desire to make the thesis look advanced. Every additional method creates demands in sampling, ethics, skills, time, and integration. The fourth layer concerns research strategy. A survey gathers standardized information from a sample. An experiment or quasi experiment evaluates effects under controlled or comparison conditions. Case study examines a bounded organization, community, program, or event in depth. Action research combines inquiry with cycles of improvement in a local setting. Ethnography studies cultural practices through sustained engagement. Grounded theory develops an explanation of a social process. Narrative inquiry examines stories and how experiences are constructed. Archival research analyzes existing records or documents. In a Philippine public school, a teacher may use action research to plan a contextualized reading activity, implement it, observe results, reflect, and improve the next cycle. If the purpose is a rigorous causal comparison across classes, quasi experimental strategy may fit better. The topic alone does not determine the strategy, the research question, and intended claim do. The fifth layer is time horizon. Cross sectional research provides a snapshot at one period or within a short collection window. It is suitable for estimating current attitudes, conditions, or associations, but it is limited for studying change and temporal order. Longitudinal research collects evidence across multiple points in time. A cross sectional survey could examine current research anxiety among graduate students. A longitudinal design could follow one cohort from proposal defense to thesis completion and examine how advisor interaction, employment, and self efficacy change. In the Philippines, longitudinal plans must anticipate student mobility, changing mobile numbers, school calendars and disasters, immigration, participant fatigue. Repeated measurements do not automatically prove causation, but they can strengthen understanding of sequence and change. The time horizon should follow the question, not merely the deadline of the researcher. At the center are techniques and procedures. Specify the target population, sampling frame, sampling strategy, sample size rationale, eligibility criteria, and recruitment. Describe instruments, interview guides, observations, records, language, pilot testing, and quality evidence. Explain the sequence, location, timing, data collector training, and handling of missing or incomplete data. Name the analysis for every question. Quantitative plans should include variables, models, assumptions, uncertainty, and missing data strategy. Qualitative plans should explain familiarization, coding, theme or category development, reflexivity, and the treatment of contrary cases. Mixed methods plans must basically show where integration occurs. Ethics belongs here and across all layers. In a small barangay, removing names may not protect identity when roles and stories remain recognizable. The inner layer should be detailed so that the readers understand and may be able to audit what was done. Consider a study asking why households in some coastal barangays are better prepared for typhoons than others. A pragmatic philosophy is reasonable because the purpose is practical and requires different evidence. The researcher may work abductively, beginning with preparedness theory, but revising explanations when surprising patterns appear. The methodological choice is mixed methods. The strategy combines a household survey with comparative barangay cases and interviews. The time horizon may be cross sectional within a defined post typhoon period, although a longitudinal design would better examine change. Techniques include multi stage household sampling, a pilot tested preparedness scale, interviews with households and disaster personnel, local records, regression or comparative analysis, thematic analysis, and a joint display. Ethics includes trauma sensitive interviewing, voluntary participation despite local authority involvement, and secure location data. Notice how every inner choice is connected to the outer layers. Use the onion as a coherence check. Ask whether the question and philosophical assumptions fit. If a study claims to understand lived experience but relies entirely on fixed response options, a gap exists. Ask whether the approach to theory matches the study. If hypotheses are tested, the theoretical basis should be stated. Ask whether the methodological choice and strategy agree. Calling a project mixed methods is inaccurate if numeric and qualitative findings are never integrated. Ask whether the time horizon supports the claim. A one time survey cannot demonstrate development over several years. Finally, ask whether procedures fit the Philippine context. Consider local language, internet access, geography, power relationships, institutional calendars, community entry, and data protection. Coherence does not mean every layer must be pure or simple. It means combinations and changes are visible and defensible. To end, the research onion is a reasoning tool rather than a diagram to copy into chapter 3. Begin with assumptions about knowledge, clarify the relationship between theory and evidence, select an appropriate methodological choice and strategy, define the time horizon, and then specify techniques and procedures. Let the research question constrain each layer. Treat Philippine language, geography, institutions, inequalities, community relationships, and practical access as central design conditions. If layers create tension, explain the tension rather than hiding it. If fieldwork requires a change, document the change. A strong methodology is not strong because it names every option in the onion. It is strong because the selected options form a coherent, ethical, visible, and transparent research design. That will be all for today, and see you in the next.